Elon Musk is complaining about his rapid COVID antigen tests. So he got tested 4 times in one day using the BD Veritor system, and he got 2 positive tests and 2 negative tests. And he tweeted later in the day, same test, same machine, same nurse. This is extremely bogus. Well, is it? So stick with me and we'll find out. I'm Dr. Rachel Johns, an internal medicine doctor specializing in hospital-based medicine out of Southern California. I'm here to bring you the latest scientific information so that you can live your best life. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these important updates. Same machine, same test, same nurse. Different result. That doesn't really make sense to an engineer. Engineers are very logical. They're very black and white. But Elon Musk is missing a particular key component of this equation: himself, his human body. The human body is not static over the course of even one day. It's a constantly changing landscape. If I check your temperature, your blood pressure, your potassium level 4 times in a day, for each of those measures, I'm going to get 4 different results. It's not bogus, it's just the way your body works, and it's the way the test results work. So we need to understand the tests and what the results mean. All of the COVID tests that we have available come back with a positive or negative answer. They don't give you a number value. There's no measurement of how many viral copies are in your body. You either have it or you don't. But not really, because there's a threshold level to where the test becomes positive. You have to have enough viral copies in your system so that the test can detect those and turn the test positive. So if I check your potassium level, I'm getting a number value. Your potassium level is 3.9. It's not a positive or negative test. So let's just talk about that for a second. We'll use a potassium as an example. So let's change the test into a positive or negative. There's a threshold number, so we'll set the threshold at 4.0. If your potassium level is 4.0 or greater, you're going to get a positive test result. If it's 3.9 or less, then you're going to have a negative test result. It doesn't mean there's no potassium in your body. There's just not enough potassium to turn your test positive. So what happens in your body over the course of a day is that your levels kind of go up and down. They undulate. There are not wild swings if you're in a healthy state of being, but it does change over the course of the day. So if I set that threshold level at 4.0 and you're going between 3.9 and 4.1, and I test you 4 times in a day, you can see how easily you can get a positive and a negative result in one day. Again, that doesn't mean that you don't have potassium in your system. If you're 3.9, you're just not quite at that 4.0 threshold to make the test turn positive. So in a real-world situation, when we really want to diagnose someone with COVID, we don't just use one test. You can go to a testing center and get a nasal swab and, do that if you want. But if you're having a lot of symptoms and you go to your doctor's office or you go to the emergency room, we're going to do a lot more than just take a nasal swab. We're going to start with a history. What kind of symptoms did you have? When did they start? What is your risk factors? Did you have an exposure that you know of? Then we're going to examine you. We're going to listen to your lungs and see what's happening. Then we're going to take blood work. And if you've ever had blood work for coronavirus, you're going to get juice and a cookie after that. There's a lot of blood work that goes into diagnosing and then seeing what treatment options are available for you. We're checking your white count, we're checking your electrolytes, your liver function, your kidney function, your inflammatory markers, your clotting factors. There's a lot of blood work that goes into that. And then we're going to move on to imaging studies. We're going to get a chest x-ray, maybe a CAT scan of the lungs and see what's going on in here. We're also going to do a pulse ox and check your oxygen levels. So there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that make up the big picture and help us make a diagnosis of COVID or something else. It's not just the nasal swab. The nasal swab is just one piece of the puzzle. If we have a piece that doesn't fit the whole picture, then we need to confirm it with another test. What we don't do in real life is repeat the same test over and over 4 times in a day and seeing how that helps us. It doesn't help us. The biggest reason why your COVID test result may be inaccurate is timing. And I don't know at what day of symptoms Elon Musk was when he got his test results back, but that is the biggest reason why your COVID test might be a false negative. So in the real world, we would wait a day or two and then send a confirmatory PCR test, which is the gold standard. What we would not do is repeat the same test over and over in one day and expecting that to help us in the diagnosis at all. Earlier this year, I made a video on 5 reasons why your COVID test might be a false negative. I'll leave the link at the end. Feel free to check it out. So let's talk about test accuracy for a moment, and we'll talk about the BD Veritor system in particular because that's the one that Elon Musk was using. So when we talk about test accuracy, what we're really talking about is the sensitivity of the test. So the sensitivity is measuring if when you have a person who definitely has coronavirus, what is the percentage of time when your test is a true positive versus a false negative. So the BD Veritor system claims that their test is 84% sensitive in a laboratory. This is, as perfect conditions as you can have. In the real world, conditions are not perfect. So we cannot scan your body and see how many viral particles are in your body. What we're doing is we're taking a sample at one particular point in your body, in your nose, at one particular moment of the day. So if you are right at that threshold level where we may not have enough viral particles to turn the test positive, that is one reason why you might get a different test result at different times of the same day, be it the same test, same machine, same nurse getting the sample, but different test results. So the best thing would have been for him to do, which is what he ended up doing, is getting a confirmatory PCR test, which ended up being positive, by the way. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give it a like. I'm Dr. Rachel Johns. I have a lot more information coming up for you on vaccines and testings, so please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of it. And I'll see you in the next video.